In this video, I'm going to tell you my 5+ years of working as a freelancer in the video space, all the ups, all the downs, and all the boring times. How I went from a high school graduate getting D's, F's and U's, which means unmarkable, to traveling the world and for shooting for high-end companies, some of the biggest companies in the world. So if that sounds interesting, stick around and watch this video. So let me take you back about 5 or 6 years. I'm about 17, 18 at the time. Second year in college, I'm doing a digital media course. I can't remember what it was, but it's basically a media course in Fernley College. I'm really loving it. Somehow I managed to get onto level 2 rather than level 1 because I just did not have the GCSEs. I had to retake maths while doing the media course in college alongside my studies, but somehow I managed to get on. So I'm in college, I'm loving it. I'm really grateful to how I've been able to get there somehow. But I'm really liking the course. But one day I'm kind of like halfway through the course, so they want to know what you want to do after college. So I sit down with one of my tutors, and she says, "What do you want to do after college?" And I'm just like, I don't know, because I didn't really think that far ahead. I wasn't planning. So I saw other people in the space kind of doing freelancing and being your own boss. I thought that was pretty cool because my dad at the time was still is his own boss. And I thought it was pretty cool, so I said I want to do freelancing. I said, yeah, you can do that, because she used to do freelancing as well, but she said it can be very hard, so make sure you're willing to put in the work for the next however many years. So I left that college, left that meeting feeling pretty good about myself, and then literally 1 week later, my dad comes to me and says, "Hey Jack, I've got an event coming up," because at the time my dad was a public speaker and a property investor, and he used to put on public events, like public speaking events, to teach people how to get into the property space. And he had a bit of a problem. He never had any marketing material from the previous event to push his new event. So he came to me and said, "Hey Jack, I see that you're really liking the course. I'm liking the videos you're doing so far, while you're at Fernley College. Would you want to come along to one of my events? I'll pay you £50 to film 2 videos for me." And those 2 videos were a highlight video, a recap, so we can about a minute long video, so we can promote the next event with it, and then an overview recording, a recording of the entire event, so we can push that to members who couldn't make it, etc, etc. And I was like, oh my god, I thought this was the second coming of Christ, because I'd never gotten paid to do what I love. And that really, lit another fire underneath me. I was like, oh my god, yes, I'm getting paid £50 to shoot what I do, that I love. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I had a couple of problems. 1, I didn't really know how to use a camera. 2, I didn't have a camera. And number 3, I didn't really know how to produce a live event video. So to tackle these, what I did, I went into college the following day and said, "Hey Jason," who's my tutor, I've just been booked to shoot my first ever videography gig. Can I take one of the DSLRs out of college? Because you could take them out, but only for good excuses. And he said, yeah, you can take one out, but you can only take one out, which was a bit of a problem because I needed 2. So I picked the best one, but the best one was a 2010 DSLR. The rest of them were like 2000. That was the best one that I could find. So took that out, started learning, the more advanced stuff like the white balancer stuff, self-taught. And then a couple of days later, I'm doing some research and how I can shoot on my phone, because that was the second best thing. I didn't have the money. I didn't have any money at the time. I was 17-year-old in college. I was like, how can I have a second camera? My phone. So I was doing some research and I stumbled across this thing. People doing some reviews on this. The Osmo DJI mobile gimbal. This thing saved my ass so many times. I managed to convince my parents to buy me this off Amazon for £40. I don't even know if it's still got battery. It does. No, this thing was my saving grace in my early days, like early days. I mean, I didn't have a handle for it, so I was walking around the venues like they used it as a bit of a pistol. Those were the days. But yeah, so this came just in time for the event. So fast forward about a week, this arrived the morning of that we're about to set off. So we I get all my gear ready, I start packing everything, and then we leave early in the morning or late afternoon. We get to the venue about an hour or two beforehand. So I get in, I start setting up, set the tripod up. I see if I can find a pitch. Anytime I can find a pitch, I'll put it on screen. I set up my tripod, set up the camera at the back of the room. I kind of help my dad and mum out with some technical stuff, like, you know, lighting, etc, etc. And then I'm like, shit, I don't know how to shoot a live event video because I've never done this before. So I was like, okay, let me think about this chronologically. If you're watching a video, promotional video, how does it start? It starts on the outside, like branding shots. Then you kind of go in, you know, get a bit of an overview of the room, and then you start getting some, you know, candid shots. So I was like, okay, start from the outside, work my way in. And that's a rule that I still use today when I shoot anything. Start from the outside, work your way in. Amazing, amazing rule. So I started doing that, and then about 2 minutes later, my dad comes and finds me and says, hey Jack, people are starting to show up soon. I need you to take a registration of the people that are coming in. And I'm like, I can do. Because at the time, I had no confidence. I was shy, introverted, looking like a dork. I mean, I'll put a picture on of me taking registration of people coming in. I'm sat behind this desk saying, hi, what's your name? No tonality whatsoever. And yeah, I'm taking registration of these people that are coming in. So about 20 minutes later, everyone's sat in the room. So I got to the back of the room, hit record on the DSLR, and then I pick up my gimbal, and I'm walking around. Everything's going very, very well. We're about 20 minutes in, and I go to the back of the room, and I find out that the camera has stopped recording, and I'm like, oh shit, why is the camera stopped recording? And because it was such an old DSLR, 2010 DSLR, it had a recording limit of like 15 minutes. So for about 5 minutes, I wasn't capturing any of the footage. I was like, oh my God, no. So I hit record back on it, and it started recording again. I was like, thank God it still works. And to this day, I still don't think my dad knew that there was a 5 minute gap in the recording, because I didn't tell him, because yeah, I didn't want to get in trouble. So Dad, if you're watching this, sorry, but yeah, so that happened. I put a timer on my phone. I was like, right, next 15 minutes I'm going to come back and make sure it's recording and, you know, reset it. So event continues, goes on without a hitch. So pack up, go home, and then for the next 4 or 5 days I'm editing, and then I run into my second problem. I do not know how to how to edit. So I've got all my footage in my project bin, and I'm just staring at about 300 clips, and I'm just like, where do I even start with this? Because I knew the basics of Premiere Pro, but I didn't really know the advanced stuff, because I was still doing like student projects. So I was like, damn, I don't even know how to do, how to kind of make a custom sequence. So what I did was I went on Google and found this guy called Jack Cole. Now Jack, I did a podcast with Jack, he's really good. And Jack saved my ass that day, because he had about a 7-hour tutorial on Premiere Pro. So on one screen I've got my project open, I'm editing, and then I'm watching this tutorial real time, and I'm just trying to edit this video. I'll link up there the video, you can go watch it. And I'm just like, thank God for the internet, thank God for Jack Cole, because without that video I would have been screwed. So I edit this video, send it off to my dad. I take it downstairs and show him, and he's like, I love it, and then he posts it on his Facebook, Instagram stuff, and pushes it out and says, spreads my name like it's the second coming of Jesus Christ. And that kind of goes into my first tip, and that first tip is, get a portfolio, because if you're a beginner and you're wanting to get paid work, you can't get paid work without a portfolio, because a lot of people on here, gurus, like say, don't work for free. Let me tell you something, you're not going to get hired if you do not work for free and if you don't have a portfolio. That is the only way. Minus like heavily discounted work, even then it can be a bit of a stretch because you're brand new. Do free work and build up your portfolio. And that's kind of my second tip, kind of going on to myself, work for free. So after that event, My dad was pushing it out, everybody was loving it. I was like, I love this, I want to keep doing this, I want to get paid for what I love. So I used to live in a small town called Tomberton. It's next to Burnley, if you know where Burnley is. Absolute shithole. But I went down into my, because I used to live in the Pennines of West Yorkshire, so I walked all the way down into the town, and it was like a Monday morning or afternoon, and I'm just going into businesses and saying, hey, you know, I'm a digital media student at Burnley College, can I shoot a free video for your business? And most of the time they said yes, come back at a later date. Because most people can't argue with the price tag of free. That's why, you know, Fortnite has done so well, because it's free. People can't argue with the price tag of free, and plus, you know, you're a young guy or girl trying to, you know, make the way in the world. Most people want to help you out. So if you're afraid about, you know, walking in or doing a bit of cold calling, offering your services for free, don't be afraid to do that. Sometimes I do that as well. Like, I'm currently branching out into the wedding scene. I'm offering my videos for free for the first like 2 couples that take me up on it. Don't be afraid to offer free work, because I still do it to this day. So do that. So I was doing that, and then I got about 5 videos in my portfolio. I had a nice little collection, including the video that I shot for my dad. And then about 2 weeks later, my dad comes to me again and says, hey Jack, I've got another event coming up at the start of 2022, around January/February. I loved your video, everybody loves it. I've been promoting it, it's doing really, really well. Can I pay you another £50 to come to my next event and film it? Yes, of course. But then he said, but I also want pictures this time. And he said, do you know anyone in your course that might be interested in earning £50 to take some photos for me of my event? And I said, leave it with me. And my best friend at the time, still is, Alex. I went to my best friend and said, hey, my dad's wanting to find someone, a photographer, that can take pictures of his event. He's going to pay us £50. And he was on board as well. It was like, yes, first, you know, paid gig, let's do it. So see if I can find a picture. We get to the event, you know, everything goes off without a hitch. So I get back, edit the video, loves it. I'll see if I can find it again. I'll put it up there if I can find it. If the link isn't popping up, I haven't found it. But I've got all this footage now. I've got about 6 or 7 different videos in my portfolio, but it's not really in my portfolio. It's just on my Google hard drive. It's just on that hard drive. I'm not sharing it with the world. So that leads me on to my 3rd tip. Get your social medias up and running. If you have all these videos you're not sharing with the world, if you're not using what you've brought into the universe, what's the point of making them? So set up your social medias. If you don't know what you want to do, set up your basic ones like your Facebook, your Instagram and your LinkedIn. They're the 3 main ones that you want to be pushing content out. But if you know you want to do a certain type of video, like I knew I wanted to do live events, so I asked myself, alright, where are these live event organizers? Facebook and Instagram. So I started heavily pushing my stuff on those 2 platforms. So if you want to do weddings, let's say, couples are on Facebook. They're on LinkedIn and, you know, Instagram here and there, but the majority of the Facebook mums are on Facebook. So if you know what you want to do, target that specific platform where your audience is. So get your social medias up and running, and then when you post your videos, use certain hashtags. This is ripped from my course, I'll give you it for free. Certain hashtags that you want to use is hashtag your location, followed by videographer, video editor and photographer. So what I do is, every time I post a new short or, you know, piece of work, I put in hashtag Manchester videographer, hashtag Manchester photographer. And then what that allows Instagram, Facebook and the rest of social medias to do is rank you in the SEO. And what SEO is, search engine optimization. It's basically, are you popping up when someone searches for like a Manchester videographer on Instagram, let's say? And I started to get to the top of the thingies later on in my career. I started to get to the top of the search bars, and I get, you know, DMs saying, hey, can you confirm my event? So make sure you've got your social medias up and running. And it kind of goes on my 4th tip, is go above and beyond. Because if you, like, I went above and beyond for my dad, right? Actually, no, let's continue with the story. So I went above and beyond for my dad. He absolutely loves it. And then at that event, where I was shooting the 2nd event I was doing with Alex, my best friend, there was another public speaker there supporting my dad called Dominic, and he said, Jack, I love what you're doing for your dad. I've got an event down in, I think it's Horsham, down like near London. Like, bear in mind, we're up near Manchester, so all the way down there, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to travel all the way. He said, I've got an event coming up in March 2020. Can you come and film and edit me a promotional video? I'll pay you £100 to shoot it and £100 to edit it. And hearing that, like, my jaw literally hit the floor, because I was only earning about £50 per event, and this guy wanted to pay me £200 to do what I've been doing, like literally 3 or 4xing my day rate. I was like, absolutely, let's get started. But as you know, Boris came on the news and said lockdown, so that event got cancelled. So I was like, oh no. I was actually really annoyed, because I wanted that £200, because to me at the time that was, you know, really big money, because I wasn't earning any money. £50 to me was a lot. £200 was like, oh my God, I'm rich, I'm the next Elon Musk. So lockdown hit, cancelled, everything, poof. So I was like, damn it, I still want to earn money doing what I love. And I was like, since I can't really do any videography, second best thing is video editing. So I went back to my dad and asked, hey Dad, can you put a post out on me? Because I used to be in this Facebook group or public speaking, and say, can you put a bit of a, you know, a promo post out promoting my services? So we did. And then there was a lady called Leela who got in contact with my dad and then me and said, hey Jack, I've got a backlog of a bunch of videos, and for the next couple of years I was her editor. I was editing all of her long form content, breaking them up into short bite-sized content, like the early days of short form TikTok content, and then sending it to her, and then she would put it onto her social medias. And she was a very good client, and then I was editing her stuff throughout lockdown, so I took my business online. And that goes on to my fourth tip: go above and beyond. If I didn't go above and beyond for my dad, he would not you know, push my stuff up, because it's a reflection on him as well, because obviously he's my dad, but he's also used my services. If he's recommending somebody who's made a terrible video for him, do you think he's going to push your name out there? No, they're not. So go above and beyond for your clients. And then so I was doing that for about a year or two, and then I was earning like £5 or £10 an hour. Like, I was earning basically nothing, but to me I was earning a lot. So I was on about £10 or something an hour, and then at the end of lockdown I saved up about £1,500, £2,000. Like, I was putting in work, so I had all this money saved up from lockdown, about £2,000. And then I bought a new camera. So exited out of lockdown, I started going to university. So I went to university, and then I bought my first very own camera, the camera that you're watching this video on, and that was the Nikon Z6. I absolutely love this camera. So I had £2,000, bought all this gear, and I wanted to get back out into the field. And I was like, hang on, how can I maximise this opportunity? So I went back to my dad and went back to Leela and some other clients that I was editing for, and said, hey, can you do me a testimonial so I can promote my services? And she was like, yes, of course. So she did a review, a testimonial on LinkedIn for me. And I went out in university. I was going around to, nightclubs. I was going around to every single business. I was like, hey, here's my testimonials. I'm still fairly new at this. I'm offering my services at a discounted rate. And the first ever nightclub I shot was Cargo in Manchester for Halloween of 2020, I want to say 2022 or 2021. One of those years, it was Halloween. So I went to university September, and then October I was shooting back out in the field, shooting content. And then it kind of just went from there. And then obviously that's my fifth tip: ask for testimonials. For whatever reason, some people don't like asking for testimonials. If you know you've done a good job for your client, Why wouldn't you ask for a testimonial? It's a no-brainer, but make sure you ask for testimonials, and ask for video testimonials if they're all right with it, because if you've got video testimonials, one, it's a video, but it's also a 3-in-1. So you've got the video, you can then break that down into audio, so if you want to like use it on a podcast or something, and then you can use the quote it as well. You quote it on Google, quote it on your website. It's a 3-in-1. Video testimonials are the best. So ask for testimonials. And then my 6th tip is focus on that 1 or 2 clients that pays your bills. So for me, that was Leela, because obviously my dad couldn't really run any more events, so he's kind of income stream that was running from that came a bit redundant because obviously lockdown. So I started focusing on I had about 2 or 3 clients, Leela and then a couple of others, so I was focusing heavily on them. So focus on your clients that pay the bills, and then obviously go above and beyond, and then they will recommend you. And something special happened. When I went to university, Leela put me in contact with a couple more people that were looking for video editing services, and I earned a couple more £100 from them. She wouldn't have put me in contact with them. Same thing with my dad. My dad wouldn't have put me in contact with Dominic or Leela if I was not going above and beyond and focusing on that one client, making sure I was delivering the highest quality to that client. So make sure you focus on your clients. Don't do a half-assed job, especially if you're a beginner, because you don't have the luxury of too many jobs coming in. You've got to maximize every single client that you get. So focus on the client, do a high value, do a good job, and then they will recommend you to other people. And then my 7th and final tip is ask for clients. So what I started doing when I went to university, and I was shooting, nightclubs, live events, etc. I started asking these clients for referrals. So, hey, John, hope you like the video. Would you know anybody else in your network that would like a video? And then most of the time, if you did, follow the previous steps, you did a good job for them. Most of the time, Bill down the road is looking for a video for his bakery or something. Let me go send him an email and pop your contact information over. If you don't ask, you will not get. So make sure you ask for video testimonials and ask for referrals / more clients from your current clients. Because if you ask your current clients for more clients, you don't have to do cold calling. You've already got your foot in the door. And especially if they're recommending you, if they're in their network, their friends, it's easy. You don't have to. They're selling you. So make sure you ask your current clients, your current network for more clients, because I don't know why people don't do this. I didn't do it when I was starting out, but it's one of the easiest ways to get new clients is ask your current clients for more clients, honestly, and then you're laughing. And then a bit of a brief thingy. So I went to Bulgaria in 2022, summer of 2022. So I went out there. This was my first ever international job. I was out there shooting, boat parties, yacht parties, pool parties, big high-class celebrities, Love Islanders, etc., etc. And then it kind of just went from there. Second year of university, what did I do? I went to Greece. Same thing out there, showing artists, boat parties, just basically step up from Bulgaria. Again, I was continuing to scale my business. I was shooting for Jack Daniels. I had P. Louise reach out to me. If you want to watch some of those videos, go. I'll link them below. Tui as well. Russ Millions, Ray Shrimmards. All of these big clients came from me putting out the content on my social medias because they found me. I didn't have to go to them. They found me because I was using what I talked about before, using certain hashtag. Hashtag your location followed by videographer or your profession. So I was dominating the local hashtags. I was in the upper rank. So if you search, say a client came to Instagram and searched Manchester videographer or videographer or photographer near me, I was like the second or third one in the search bar because nobody goes to the second page of Google, right? Nobody goes to the second page of the search engine. So you've got to be at the top. And the reason I got all those high-paying gigs and those big clients was because I was using those hashtags and I was putting out my content. If you don't share what you've brought into the universe, what's the point of making it? So make sure you put out your work, etc, etc. And then last year I was leading a media team out in America, in Pennsylvania. I've come back now, I've left university, and now I'm just off to the races. I'm going to Portugal in May to shoot a wedding out there. I'm going to vlog that, so if you want to see kind of behind the scenes, take you with me, because I've shot in 3 different countries but I haven't really vlogged it, so a bit of a missed opportunity. But I'm going to Lisbon in Portugal in the 1st of May. I'm going to be there for about a week, so if you're interested in that, make sure you stick around. I'm going to be vlogging the hell out of that. And yeah, that's really just my story, really, from a high school student getting D's and F's and U's, unmarkable. I literally remember looking at that and oh my god, I felt such a disgrace. Like, I was like, how can I let my life come to this? And then obviously, took you through my story. Now I'm full-time being a videographer. I absolutely love it. I love making videos. So if you guys like this kind of content and you want to see more, make sure you comment down below what kind of other clients other videos you want to see. If you like these story time videos, I've got a couple more, like some of the worst clients I've ever worked for, absolute nightmare. Some of the best clients I've worked for, off the top of my head. Again, if you want to see a certain type of video, if you've got any questions, comment down below or DM me on Instagram at Jack.F and at Jack.F Productions. I've got 2 accounts on there. And yeah, so follow me, like and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. I've got some really bangers on this channel. So hope this has been a good video for you guys. With that being said, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.